Comedian and actor Tim Brooke-Taylor has died after catching coronavirus, his agent confirmed. He was 79. Tim will be remembered for starring in 1970s TV comedy series The Goodies and receiving an Obie for his work. The Goodies ran from 1970 to 1982, becoming one of the classic British sitcoms, admired for its surreal style and uproarious slapstick. It was set in three-man agency, whose brief was to do anything, anytime, leaving plenty of room for invention. Tim's agent said in statement, "It is with great sadness that we announce Tim's death early today from COVID-19. Joining Footlights in 1960 took him to providing huge variety of splendid entertainment television, radio, theater, film, books, DVDs, CDs, quizzes, etc., all of which he undertook with energy and great sense of fun. We will remember him for so much but must just mention The Goodies and I Am Sorry Haven't Clue. He had, of course, many fans whom he always treated cheerfully even after long and exhausting rehearsals and recordings. He was an exceptional client and pleasure to represent. We're grateful that we have so much of his work to view, read and listen to. In all the time with us and in all his showbiz work, he has been supported by Christine, his wife." Comedy writer Simon Blackwell took to Twitter to pay tribute. Heartbreaking news about Tim Brooke-Taylor filled so many people's childhoods with massive laughs, and then kept doing so for decades afterwards. Condolences to his family and friends. In one of his last interviews, the comic revealed one of his biggest regrets was turning down Strictly back in 2015. He said, "Didn't think was fit enough, but 40 years ago I'd have jumped at it." But he added, "Could have been in Monty Python as John Cleese, Graham Chapman, and had already worked together. But wasn't available when it was set up. They did pay me for sketch they used on their big London dates." Asked by the Sunday Post what he wanted to be remembered for, he said, "Probably The Goodies or Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory where played computer boffin." Speaking about the huge hit I'm Sorry Haven't Clue, he said, "The pilot show was bad and remember going to the pub with Humphrey Littleton afterwards and saying, 'Never again. We prepare bit. But most of it is ad-libbed. The producer makes us work hard at thinking up new rounds.'" Syond William, Radio 4's commissioning editor for comedy, added, "Tim Brooke-Taylor had long and distinguished career in comedy. He was charming, quick-witted and hugely skillful comic. He was much loved both by our listeners and by his colleagues, and he will be sorely missed by all at Radio 4. Brooke-Taylor began his acting career at Cambridge University where he was president of the famed Footlights Performing Arts Club. He toured internationally with the Footlights Revue in 1964 before finding wider recognition for his work on BBC Radio with I Am Sorry, I'll Read That Again. Brooke-Taylor moved into TV with At Last, the 1948 show, where he starred alongside John Cleese and Graham Chapman. But it was as one of the Goodies, alongside Graham Garden and Bill Oddie, that he found international fame, earning household name status in Australia and New Zealand and attracting millions of viewers in its heyday. Footballer Stan Collymore tweeted, "Extremely sad to hear the news of the passing of Tim Brooke-Taylor from this awful virus. Another fond memory of childhood gone but not forgotten. Rest in peace, Tim." He was regular panelist on BBC Radio 4's I Am Sorry Haven't Clue for over 40 years. Comedian Jack D, who hosts the BBC radio series I Am Sorry Haven't Clue, said, "It has come as devastating news to hear that Tim has succumbed to this dreadful virus, especially when we all thought he was recovering. Tim was delightful man and never anything but great company. It has always been one of the great joys of my career to work with someone who was part of the comedy landscape of my childhood. I can't bear the thought of introducing I Am Sorry Haven't Clue without being able to say, and on my right, Tim Brooke-Taylor." Tim brought unique quality to Clue. He was proper team player, very generous as performer, never egotistical and always more than delighted to set himself up as the butt of the joke. For me, his great comedy gift was playing the injured innocent, and he did it with brilliance and characteristic lightness of touch. It's always heartbreaking to lose loved one, but these times have created the cruelest of circumstances for that to happen in, and my thoughts are with his wife Christine and all his family.